Now, life is going on as normal as possible here at Eastburg Village, despite all that has happened in the last 24 hours just up the road at Cubic Mountain Resort. Mountain officials have offered little to no comment on the SEC investigation or the state civil suit, but they're saying business is going on as usual. Now, almost a month ago, the total number of people that have been laid off has added up close to 200. However, residents are no stranger to the ongoing situation that has taken place. The town will continue to move forward just as Cubic Mountain feel they should. Reporting live from Eastburg, I'm Victor Mwangi. Back to you. This is the kitchen where the St. Johnsbury Academy culinary students have gained the skills to win the competition in the last 5 years in a row. They're hoping to continue the same momentum on Friday. Reporting for the Vermont Center for Community Journalism, I'm Victor Mwangi in St. Johnsbury. I'm outside here in Lyndonville, outside the Rural Edge organization, which is founded on helping struggling homeowners in the Northeast Kingdom. This year, they're seeking a grant worth $200,000. Reporting for the Vermont Center for Community Journalism, I'm Victor Mwangi in Lyndonville. All is quiet at Burke Mountain today, which is fairly typical for this time of year. General Manager Mike Popolato said he was instructed not to talk to the media about the current situation, but did say that day-to-day operations at the mountain are not being affected. Residents, however, were more than willing to talk.
Well, it's good to hear that the state's definitely taking action by closing down the offices and doing a further investigation. I don't think it's quite right what's been going on at the mountain.
People are already upset with the whole situation of, they kind of booted all the locals that work there out, and they try to make it all better and add the hotel, and that's great for the jobs, but now there's no jobs. So
for Jim Payton, the situation hits close to home. His son was recently laid off by the resort.
He's unemployed, and like many others I hear. So
General Manager Mike Popolato instructed by RA not to speak with the media, and it's business as usual. Bike trails aren't open anyway, and maintenance work still continues. Normally, at this time of the year, there is a skeleton crew, but this is due to between seasons. Today's forum was an opportunity for people represented by different ethnic groups to share their stories about living in the Northeast Kingdom. People in the community have their own opinion about how to discuss the issue.
It's just integrating into the community. I think we don't have a lot of people of color on campus. And in the community, there's even fewer. And I think that it's hard for people to realize that if you're a person of color, for many of the students that you're going to run on campus, it's the first time they've ever interacted with anybody if they're not like they are.
Students of Linden State College want community members to understand they are part of the community as well. Some minorities students feel that they get profiled as they commute around the area and doing errands.
So sometimes it kind of like drives me away from the public or in the groups and isolate myself. I don't want to do that because I'm like a hearted person and open and always try to meet people. But the reason I haven't, like I said, I haven't shared anything with anyone is because there's no one always willing to learn about who I am. People are always getting judged by their color.
Some faculty and staff members agree with the experience that the students feel and can't help but relate.
It has been very interesting. It's the first time where I've lived in a state that has had more of one ethnicity over another. And so sometimes in the community, it can be a shock for people to see me. I like to think of it as me being a celebrity, to not have that negative feeling sometimes that I do get. And so it's eye-opening to what is still happening here in America.
The only way for the changes to be made is to continue to have the difficult conversation about racial diversity. To have a better understanding of what someone is going through, the best way is to ask. Reporting for the Vermont Center for Community Journalism, I'm Victor Mwangi in Lyndonville. Here, the Riverside School puts on a production during which they stop academic classes and facilitate students as they plan, rehearse, and take leadership roles of the show. This year, they decided to take one of the most famous Disney movies of all time, The Lion King.
The best part is always the kids, just seeing their energy, seeing them starting to come to life, starting to inhabit their characters rather than being kids reading lines, to start to become lions and to start to become hyenas. It's a really exciting process to see that transformation happen.
This will be the 10th annual musical that the school has put on, and just like every other year, the students are the ones who run the show.
We wanted to have the kids have their say in how the sets looked and how the costumes looked and what the lighting does. We've got somebody working on lighting right now.
Unlike most plays, the Lion King musical forces students to work harder due to the fact the characters are animals and are singing in a different language. This tends to be the most technical part of the play.
It's okay for your character to be more expressive, to really sing out, to open up, and often students find their individual voices through the character that they're playing.
While some students have done the musicals in the past, for others it just happens to be their first time.
Well, in the beginning I didn't really want a big role because I had never actually done a play before. And I didn't want a ton of lines because I wasn't entirely sure that I was going to be able to memorize them.
Reporting for the Vermont Center for Community Journalism, I'm Victor Mwangi in Lyndonville. Lyndon State College held its first job fair today. Students and community members who are searching for a job had a chance to speak with prospective employers. Close to 25 companies gave presentations throughout the day, and after the event, there were interviews for people interested in that position. Team Flurry says this event was just as helpful for people needing to fill positions as it was for people finding jobs. The city of Rutland is awaiting federal approval to resettle up to 100 Syrian refugees to the area. City officials have been working with the Vermont Refugee Resettlement Program to help prepare for refugees and ensure that all securities are in place. In a statement, Vermont senators praised Rutland officials and businesses for their work. Rutland has had a long tradition of ethnic diversity and hopes to add to this by welcoming the refugees. Leahy made a statement today about the troubles the court nominees are facing. The Senate has been refusing to hold hearings on Obama's Supreme Court nomination, along with the 20 lower court nominees. Leahy said there is no good reason for the Senate to withhold these hearings, and all this is doing is holding back small counties who are lacking the effective number of judges.